That's when I was 12. By the time I was 13, I was tired of working for the man. I started cutting hair out of my bedroom. Like, the only way you can learn to cut hair is by practicing on people. And none of my friends wanted to let me practice on them. But thankfully for me, all my friends were just poor enough. They had no choice but to let me practice on them. Yeah, a lot of them had single moms and a lot of siblings. Their moms couldn't afford to take them and their brothers to a real barbershop. So they bring them to me, I'll cut their hair for free, and then their moms, to help me, would post the pictures on Facebook. Like, I keep my babies looking fresh. Yeah, since 13, I've been empowering these ghetto queens. It's just that sometimes they would get too personal with the post, you know? They'd post the pictures of the cuts, and they'd be like, I keep my babies nice, fresh, and clean cut, and I do it on my own. No man paid for this. And I'd be in the comments like, if anybody else needs a free haircut, come to my grandma's. Cutting hair from home is how I realized my grandma didn't even care about my safety. There used to be grown men covered in tattoos showing up at my doorstep, like a little Ralphie here. She'd be like, yeah, he's in that room by himself. She even would leave me alone with him sometimes. I saw her pulling out the driveway, and I ran out there. I was like, Grandma, what are you doing? There's an adult in there. She was like, yeah, he'll watch you. I'll be right back. Sometimes I'd mess up on these haircuts, and I would have these grown-ass men just screaming at me in my little 13-year-old bedroom. As soon as I'd give them the mirror, I'd be like, let me see. God damn, what the fuck, dumbass? I'd be like, you don't know what you're doing, do you? You don't know how to cut no hair. But I would always tell them the same thing. I'm 13. Why would you let me do this? And then I'd go off on them. I'm like, you walked into a room covered in Dragon Ball Z posters. And you really expected a quality cut from a dude who's never even seen titties in real life. I said, no, sir, you don't know what you're doing. Grandma, escort this gentleman out the door. But yeah, man. I love being able to travel now, you know. It's opened my mind to a lot of things. I didn't realize this, but I take some things for granted that people in other places, you know, they'd appreciate more, and vice versa. I was in Canada a while back, and I was talking to this girl. I said, it's so cool how in Canada you guys have legal weed across the nation. And she was like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I was like, oh my God, I don't. She said, where are you from? I said, I'm from Texas. She was like, you see, in Canada, we need to be more like Texas because y'all have guns. We need guns. I need a gun. I was like, I think you'll be all right. I think you just need somebody to talk to. She was like, you don't get it, you know, we don't all want legal weed, because what a lot of people don't see is that when Canada legalized weed, it came with a lot of bullshit. They gave the police more power. Now they can pull you over, search you for no real reason at all. They treat you bad. There's been an increase in police brutality cases, and she's going on. And I don't know if that stuff is true, but even if it is, it's like unfair treatment as a trade-off for legal weed. I'd take it. Right? I was like, look, it sounds to me like what you're going through, it don't sound that bad. It feels like if you grew up in a household with like very strict but polite parents. They treat you right, but they don't let you smoke. And then one day these parents were like, all right, you can smoke weed in this house, but also we're going to start hitting you now. I'd be like, all right, as long as I'm high when you're hitting me, we'll literally go hit for hit. I didn't even realize, like I'm born and raised here in Texas, but I didn't realize how accustomed to it, how Texas I really was on the inside until I got to travel. I remember the first time I stayed in New York for a few weeks. I was like 20 maybe, and my buddy was pointing out to me. He's like, hey man, have you noticed how over here nobody can walk around with guns? He's like, the police can have guns, we can't have guns, only the police can. I was like, dang, for real? Am I Republican?
Oh my God.
Don't take that too serious. These are just jokes. It just threw me off is all, because I'm not used to that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm used to, yeah, the police walk around, they have their gun at the holster. Sometimes they might even eyeball you a little bit. Like as if to say, like, hey, don't start nothing now. And that's fine, I'm used to that, you know. I'm just also very used to the way it is back home, where you can also walk around with a gun at the holster. And if you're feeling up to it, you could eyeball the police back a little bit. You'd be like, hey, you neither now. I remember they used to teach us that in school. It's called checks and balances. I went to Canada. I asked them about their gun laws. I asked a few different people. And from what I could tell in Canada, it's like extremely difficult to get a gun, but if you can get one, you can only keep it at your house, which I guess that sucks, because what if you have enemies to kill? What do you do then? You have to invite them over? I was like, yo, this is why you Canadians get that stereotype that you're all polite, man, because somebody does you dirty, you're like, what? You slept with my wife? Come over for dinner tonight. Also, I just want to say this to be 100% clear. Like I feel like I have to say it. I'm not really Republican. Yeah. No. Don't clap. I'm not you either. I just never voted. Yeah, man. Most people don't care, you know. But I have made some friends along the way, some more liberal type friends that stop being my friends when they find out I don't vote. It's in Brooklyn, New York. Dude got in my face about it. He's like, you don't vote? What, you don't give a fuck? I'm like, yo, man, that's not cool. You know, I care. Well, not really, but that's not cool. I don't like the way he did that. I felt like he was judging me a little bit. I don't know how he grew up. Maybe he has some political literacy, but I don't. Nobody taught me about that. I was raised by my grandma. She had just got to this country. She's not going to encourage me to vote. She was just like, don't touch nothing. Let's just be happy to be here. My mom, my mom had me at 16. You think she's going to teach me about politics? I watched that kid grow up before my own eyes. My dad was the only one who knew about laws or the judicial system, but that's because he was an astronaut. Yeah. I mean, I'll vote eventually. I'm not like, yo, I'll never vote. Nah, I'll vote eventually. And I also don't judge anybody's political preferences. If you're left, right, red, blue, I don't care. If you like immigrants, if you hate immigrants, just leave my girl out of it, please. I don't judge, man. I get along with everybody. Well, there's like one group of people, one small group that I do judge a little bit. And I'm not even saying they're wrong. I just judge them a little bit. And it is Latino Republicans. Yeah. I mean, more power to you, but you look weird. Even white Republicans look at you like, huh? It's just weird to see some brown dude say something off the wall like, hey, we got to stop immigrants. I'm like, when'd you get here? But yeah, but to each their own, I don't really care too much about it all, like the laws or anything. I don't take too much serious.